Hey y'all, back again. I hope you were able to catch some of the makeup tutorial I did. If not, go check it out. It's the faux freckle face look. But at the same time, I had my hair in these twists, and as I promised, we were going to do a takedown together. So let's get started. I have had these in now for a couple days. So I'm going to add some sheen sealing nectar to each twist as it comes down, because what I don't want is the look being like dry and crusty and all of that. So actually I'm going to start in the back here. So I'm just going to take this and spritz the hair. Kind of undo the twist. So I undo the two, and then the key to getting, I guess, these individual hairs is really let the hair do the separating for itself. And what I mean by that is when you kind of pull your fingers down each section, the hair will naturally separate into sections that it's going to be in. It just, you don't have to do any kind of raking, and it's probably easier, it'll be easier to show you once we get to the front, but I just kind of massage my fingers closer to the root, and you can kind of feel where the hair is breaking into its own sections, and then that way you have still well-defined curls, but each one is in its place. So continue. I'm gonna move you guys over here. There we go. And now I'm separating the two. And again, so let me get this out of the way so you can see. So I'm going to look real funny for a minute here. But I'm going to have the two separated, and then again, just kind of see where the hair is naturally coming to a separation by itself. You don't necessarily want to pull too hard because you don't want to lose the definition. Okay? So far, so good. Let me go to the other half of that, and same thing, I'm just gonna kind of get my fingers up here and see where the pieces are just kind of naturally separating. Okay, so far so good. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna continue doing the back here. I will see if I can get the back half done, and then I will be back once we get to kind of the last few twists here, because this is going to be a little, like I said, I've got a water head. Thanks, Dad. And we'll get to at least somewhere near the front where you can kind of see more of what I'm doing and the reason why, and it should be easier to see. So back in a second. All right, so we are cooking with oil. Let's go ahead and move to what's left of the front. I'm gonna just kind of clip this over here. Okay, and we'll work with these front little pieces. So I'm gonna move you a little closer here. So again, I'm just taking my sheen spray and spritzing down the hair. And I'm going to undo the two twists, and now we have these separated pieces here. And I just kind of, this is a smaller section, so the hair sections are going to be a little bit smaller. And just kind of feel your way to where these pieces kind of split apart naturally themselves. Because the reason why you want to make sure that you're not really forcing that part of the process is because if you do and you get to these ends where it's, you know, not separating, not doing what it's supposed to, it could create unwanted frizz. So, all right, on to the next section. So again, I'm going to twist it backwards on itself to release those two sections, and then piece by piece, we're going to get this to kind of separate a little bit. I was super pleased at the turnout. You know, this isn't my favorite style to do because it is pretty tedious because I've got a lot of hair on a pretty sizable cranium, but I will say I am kind of a fan of these little spiral tendrils here. Okay. All right, next piece. Let's keep it going, and I think that's the last one for this side if I'm not mistaken. Okay. We'll spritz it and twist it backwards on itself to release those two pieces. And this one's going to be a little bit looser because obviously the sections were bigger, but you can see how I'm holding it up where these pieces are kind of just separating themselves. Those are the individual hairs that you want to look for to kind of pull apart. And if it doesn't do it, it doesn't do it. You know, don't sweat it. Don't try and force it because again, you don't want to be, after spending so much time putting it all together, you don't want to create a big old section of frizz. So like for one like this, where I'm like, okay, sis, where is it? I got one piece here that I can separate, and then what? No, I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to fight my hair for a style, darn it. And so I just keep it moving, keep it pushing, keep finding those little pieces to separate where I can, and where I can't, oh well, it'll just be what it is. Especially when I'm on these front pieces, because you know, it never fails. I'll always have one piece of hair that's just like misbehaving, and it'll be like smack dab in the front where it's like front and center, like, oh, look at me, I'm throwing the whole look off. Oh, I fibbed. There's one more piece here. All right, so we spritz away and get these pieces kind of separated here. And work on this front one. This one's kind of coming apart for me, which is nice. Don't have to really fight this one to do what it's supposed to. And there we go. All right. So just getting these little pieces kind of separated here. Not trying to force too much. So that way it'll just keep this nice little kind of spirally wave thing going on. Okay? All right. Now, let's move over to this next section here. Again, we'll clip these little pieces. Oh, all right now. Let's behave. Everybody in their assigned seats. Thanks. Okay. We're going to take the next piece. The same thing on this side. Twist it back away from itself. And let the hair tell me where these pieces are going to separate. This one's coming apart quite a bit, which is nice. Okay. All right, all right, all right. And thankfully I do have a mirror behind the camera because I can't see really because the screen is small, but that's okay. It's not really that small. Why am I blaming it on the screen? It's me, folks. I don't have my glasses on. But I can tell at least it's kind of coming together here. Don't need my glasses for that. Just a lot of high hopes and aspirations for a crown that participates. Okay. All right, next piece. Who's next? Just always want to make sure, because I have a nasty habit of getting like all the way done, and then I'll find like one random twist like a couple days later, like, how'd you not get in with the rest of the bunch? But as I was going through the back, I was just kind of like using my fingers to kind of pick up pieces and, make sure that there was nothing kind of residual hanging out. And eventually, once I get through this part, I am going to take my pick to kind of fluff some of this up. And hopefully, if I did leave any, it'll catch it. It'll pick it up so I can get that undone. Okay, this one, it is coming apart a little bit. Okay, that's not bad. I always get kind of nervous when you get those big old pieces because it's like, if it's like a little section that's unruly, all right, that's fine. But giant sections, it's like, all right, cut me some slack, please. And thank you. All right. We are steamrolling right on through. This actually didn't take me as long to take down as I anticipated, but again, I still, it's a lot. I love those Bantu knots because it's just like, okay, I'm going to just twist it around itself, pull it down, take my pick, and boom, we're done. But this is, the Bantu creates kind of a thicker curl because it's, it's a larger section that I'm taking that's twisting around itself versus this when these get put in and you're just kind of tightly coiling. It creates a totally different vibe, like all together. The whole look is different. The shape of my hair is different. The volume is different. I love the versatility. Like that's probably the best thing about having, my hair type. And I know a few of you can kind of vouch or agree that, when you do have a little bit of texture going on, you can do so many things. This is turning, okay, I'm sitting here telling you like, I don't like doing this. It's a lot. It's too much. But who are you? I'm so excited. When I first went natural, which was it was a few years ago. I think 2016-ish. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. I struggled a lot, because I cut my hair thinking, oh yeah, you just wash and go. Yeah, totally. Okay. Use some gel, use some mousse. And I never really got into the styling and I was always so disappointed. Like I would do my twist outs, and it was a joke. Like, they were so dry, and they just, they would stay for a little while, but I was never satisfied. Like, the curl never really came to fruition. Like, it was just a hot mess. And maybe that's where a lot of my apprehension comes from, because it's like, when you really invest in a style and you spend, from start to finish, over an hour trying to get things going, it's just like, ugh, nobody wants to be disappointed with the outcome. But I'm going to tell you, today is not the day of disappointment. Today I am seeing kind of what my expectation originally was for what my hair would do. I'm floored. Like, sis, where you been? But you learn and you grow, and I'm hoping if somebody else is out there struggling, I was you. I'm this, as you can tell by my surprise, just how much I really, really like this. You aren't alone. Learning your hair is a process. Loving your hair is a process. It's all a process. And, the more you practice, the better you'll be. And clearly, that's going to be the case for me too. All right, last one, and then we're going to take a final look. Let's get going. Couple extra spritzes for good measure. Okay. So for this one, I'm just going to try and take as much care as I can to get this uncoiled. And I think I'm going to see if that'll separate a little more. Okay. Let me work on this other section here, because this one is the doozy. There we go. Okay, folks. Here she is. All right. So I'm going to get in here with my pick. Give me just a moment. I'm going to cut off the TV. I was doing a update on it, and now it's popped back on. So I'm going to cut it off real quick, and I'll be right back. Grab my pick. And I'm just going in here, putting it right at the scalp and pulling. I'm not raking it through. I'm just pulling it enough to kind of give it that lift. And this is just for those areas where it may be a little bit flatter than others. I'm trying to go for as much uniformity as I can, because we're home. I haven't been able to get a trim, and I miss my hairstylist, Miss Carla Brown Pryor of Inner Beauty. I miss you, girl. She misses you. But, as soon as things kind of clear up, and we'll all be kind of back to our routines. But in the meantime, I had to do something to get this mane going. Oh yeah, we need a little bit of oomph, some volume. And I think a little bit in the back here. My hair is actually a different texture back there, so I'm trying to be really, really careful because it'll pull that comb right on through and take the curl with it. So I'm going to take some and just kind of lift it at the crown. And again, get the back going here. Okay, so the twist is out, baby. And there's a couple things, I mean, like for right now, I'm really just kind of pleased at the way that this turned out. You know, as always, there's multiple ways to style it. Like if you're not one for having all of this hair forward, you know, you can kind of split it in different sections. You could do like, you know, a pompadour here. You could take some of this and just, you know, twist it back to one side. If you wanted to have this kind of side forward and this side back, that used to be my go-to. I'm going to show you with this clip and just kind of get all of that. And get some volume going back over here. Okay. You see, I get a new hairstyle, I'm turning into a whole different person. But I am so jazzed. So I am going to take a little bit of my Cantu styling gel and just kind of hit the edges a little bit. And I'm not, you know, I'm not doing anything fancy other than just kind of, I don't do all that sweepy, swoopy. I wish I could, but you know, I'm getting there slowly but surely, y'all. It's so funny because I can get them going on Layla's hair, but my hair is just like, you know what, sis? Put the product in, brush it, call it a day. And that's what I do. Okay. All right, so, you know, I'm going to be rocking this for the next few days and see how we do. I'm going to try and be as consistent as possible with, you know, wrapping my hair, making sure that we're all good to go, because that is, you know, my vice. But I just want to make sure that I am protecting my hair from breakage and damage. And then, you know, we'll be back because I did have a request to do kind of a hair refresh help video, and I fully intend on doing that. Okay. Well, if you have any questions, let me know. If you have another style that you want to see, let me know. Put it in the comments. If you like what you see and you want to see more, like the video, subscribe. So glad to be back, and even despite all the technical difficulties I was having earlier, I'm just glad to be able to you know, kind of have some fun with you guys and pencil in that time. All right, until next time, have a great week, y'all. Bye.